Hey everybody, welcome back to Keeping It Real with Marilyn and Steve. And this is our update from our 90-day pantry and no shopping challenge. We were originally going to call this halfway there, 90-day challenge. And instead we are calling this hard choices and tough decisions. So we wanted to share with you why things have changed.
I think we were trying to continue on with the challenge because we're both stubborn and pig-headed. The challenge we've gone, the first 2 months were easy, and I feel that the last month really wouldn't be difficult at all. But based on what's happening in the world and the way prices are going up and with everything that's happening over in Europe, we've decided this is probably bad timing to challenge ourselves. I feel that we could have succeeded, and it was more of trying to finish because we said we were going to finish, and that's something we just needed to get past.
So if you didn't see our original video, we started this challenge at the beginning of January, and it was from the Three Rivers Homestead Pantry Challenge. And they issue a 30-day pantry challenge every year, and we did this last year, and it was good. But we decided we wanted to push ourselves a little bit more this year. So we had decided to do a 90-day challenge. So with our 90-day pantry challenge this year, we were also adding in a no shopping challenge. So we weren't spending money on anything that wasn't business related. And as you can see, we're here in our studio. We're having a hard time getting time in to get these videos out. So we're doing inventory today and taking a break. And we wanted to get this done and out to you. Originally it was supposed to be a halfway there. We've been really busy, and we're just trying to catch up, get this out to you, let you know where we're at. So before we go much further, just a thank you to everybody out there who has followed along with us on our journey for the last 2 months. And let's let you know how it's worked out so far.
A shout out to an Instagram follower, Veggie Grandma.
Veggie Grammy.
Veggie Grammy. She kind of gave us the poke that we needed to get this video done. She wanted to know how we were doing in our challenge, and we kind of forgot all about everybody who may have wanted to know what was going on. So we...
Thank you.
Thanks. We needed to get a little push.
Yeah. So first off, what did we miss as we were going through the first 2 months of this challenge?
Well, for me, it was, I thought I had everything I needed to keep myself busy during the challenge, since we weren't really going out and doing things outside of the house. So I had a project I was working on that required black spray paint. Not a problem. I had some of that saved up in the garage. I didn't really take into account that it was going to freeze this winter bad enough in the garage that it screwed up the paint. So I tried using it. It didn't work out for me. And I was unable to go out and buy a new can of black spray paint. So that project ended up getting put on hold. It wasn't a very important project. It was more of a kind of busy work. But it was one thing that I wasn't able to do that I really wanted to finish up.
For both of us, as far as food-wise, we both missed fresh fruits and vegetables. And I know at the store at this time of year, fresh is kind of a subjective term. What you find in the store in the winter in our area here in New England is not fresh fruits and vegetables. But we did miss that. It made us think a little bit more about what can we grow this year that stores for a longer period of time. How can we preserve things maybe a little bit differently to make that a little less painful process?
How can we get more out of our orchard?
Yes. So another thing that we did was try to make a list of things that we know that we would run out of if we were long-term without being able to go to the store. One thing that we, other than the fresh fruits and veggies, was fresh milk, fresh eggs. The egg portion of it, we used to have chickens. We had taken a break from having chickens, and we had work we needed to do on our coop and our chicken run before we got our chickens again. And this has kind of put us back into the frame of mind that we're going to get that work done and repopulate our chicken coop. And that would take care of that issue for us.
Or the egg issue.
The egg issue. As far as milk, we're not getting a cow or a goat, but we do live in a rural area, which is very handy.
Yeah, there's lots of dairy farms. There's even goat farms in the area if you like goat milk.
Yeah. So there are options in our area. I mean, there are people as well who do have chickens and sell eggs. So if that was something that we had to do.
There's a lot of things. We don't want to take everything on, but we have local beekeepers, very local beekeepers. We have people, other neighbors that have livestock and things like that. So a good part of what we preach is making friends with your local neighbors. If you're you want to join a group or a mag where you have like-minded people that can help each other out, that's great. I think the best group of people that you can have around you are your immediate neighbors, though. It works for Neighborhood Watch. It works for a lot of things. You've got people who are very close by who only gain by having you as a good neighbor and vice versa. So we make sure to give them lots of canned things for Christmas.
Okay, so another part of this challenge was the no spending part. And of course, whenever you're, telling yourself you're not going to spend any money, that's when an emergency happens and it's something that you need to do.
Like 2 days after you start the challenge.
Yes. When you have your smoke alarms going off and they won't stop and they're faulty and you have to have them replaced.
Right.
So.
Because we heat the entire house with wood, and in the winter, that's how we do all of our cooking is in the wood oven. It would be completely unsafe of us to not replace our smoke detectors.
So we did go ahead and spend the money for the smoke detectors, but that was it. We really were doing very well in that aspect also. So it wasn't something that was a big detriment. But as we said, for us, realizing that in the times that we're in, it would be very negligent of us to let our stubbornness or our pride get in the way of doing something that's smart.
Yeah.
So for us, stopping the challenge after 2 months to make sure that we are keeping ourselves ready for any eventuality, purchasing anything that we do need to get.
While it's affordable, while it's still on the shelves. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. This is probably not a good idea to not work on your pantry. We shop for Marilyn's dad, and we see how things at the store, where we are, we're doing pretty good. I mean, there aren't a whole lot of empty spots, but there are certain things. If you're looking for a particular brand or a particular flavor, there's a good chance you're not going to find it, and you have to make do with what the store has. The other issue is prices are going up quite a bit. So another thing we tell people who want to know why we keep such a large pantry is purchasing food while it's affordable. Prices are only gonna go up. So getting it now while it's cheap rather than waiting is an investment.
So if you haven't seen our videos about making maple syrup, that was kind of one of our things this year for part of our pantry challenge, was realizing what if we couldn't go out and get a sweetener? What do we have in our area that we can utilize? And making our own maple syrup was one of those things. Now,
and there's plenty of people in our area that do maple syrup, but not in our neighborhood. We have plenty of maple trees on the property. It was kind of a no-brainer to go out and tap the trees and see what we could get. We're not doing this to make money. We're not making so much maple syrup that we can go to the farmer's market and sell it. For us, it's more of, can we make enough for us and maybe some to gift? And if we can make a gallon of maple syrup this year, that's more than enough for us. and enough that we can bottle some and give it away for Christmas and whatnot.
Yeah. And on that aspect, my dad is diabetic. So if you have a limited food diet for any reason, then thinking about what may or may not be available if shortages were to get worse, making sure you have what you need on the shelf is important. It took me 3 trips and 3 stores to find some sugar-free maple syrup for him, and the bottle, which I remember being $2.69, was $5.46 for 1 bottle of sugar-free maple syrup.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't even real maple syrup. It's that, you know.
Right. I don't think you can have a real maple syrup that's sugar-free.
But during that process and shopping for him, it made me realize that for us to continue doing our challenge, it just was very poor timing for us. But beyond that, laundry detergent was something that we realized we were getting low on. Now we make our own laundry detergent, and we'll be doing a separate video about that.
Mm-hmm. And we keep in the pantry supplies to make laundry detergent. Anything that we make at home, we keep the supplies to make those things rather than making them in advance. We keep all the pieces and parts. So we'll probably make a video. When we make laundry detergent, it's usually a year's supply at a time.
6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, I cut back.
6 months.
Storage. Sometimes it's easier to store dry ingredients for something than it is to store the fully made.
Right.
So I did cut back, and it's a great way to have something that you can have the supplies on hand. If you love going to the store and buying the fancy scented ones, you can always add essential oil to what we do. But like I said, that's something that we'll cover on a separate video. So to kind of wrap this up, what we discovered was our pantry definitely can do a 90-day challenge, not a problem. We also were able to see where we have any gaps. And the gaps really weren't pantry gaps other than what we need to grow in our garden this year. It was more, what are some other things that we might want to keep on hand? And really for us, with everything that's going on and with shortages the way they are, we made the decision to maybe do a few things a little bit quicker, like we're gonna get new tires on our truck. Some things just are getting harder to get exactly what you want. And there are some things that you really don't want to have to compromise on, either for safety, security, you know, mobility, that kind of thing. We also have some projects that we want to do, and having an idea on what we need, making a list of what we need for supplies for those projects, and kind of planning and thinking ahead. We've really pinpointed what is critically important.
And getting the supplies that we need for those projects now is hopefully going to save us a little bit of money rather than waiting for when we need them, because prices right now, as we see it, are just going up on everything. So it's probably a good bet that it's at its best price right now. Also, is it going to be available when I need it? I know that we need some lumber. We're going to need some cinder blocks. I know I have to pick up some concrete mix. There's a few things that we're planning, and we're going to make some videos using those materials, but we need to make sure that we can get them and that we can afford them.
Yep. Because the longer we wait, things that we could have picked up 6 months ago when, like, say, lumber prices had come back down, prices in a lot of areas are going back up. So timing is everything, they say, but also being prepared is important. So if you have any groups in your area that are doing classes or courses or speaking about how to get better prepared, check them out. If you know people who are great at certain skills, go talk to them. If this is going to be your first year doing a garden, talk to somebody who's been doing gardening for quite a while and get their experience in the hints and tips. We've started doing some speaking engagements on things like that with a local alliance group. who asked us to come in and speak with them. And that has also allowed us to really stop and put into writing some of the information that it's important for us to make sure that we're practicing and that we know.
Right, so hopefully the webpage has got a lot more information on it now than it did a few weeks ago. And as we find time, we're trying to populate the page with more and more information, things that people might find useful. We're not selling anything on the page. We do have some affiliate links, and we do have some merch links, but any information that we have on preparedness and self-reliance, all of that, we're just, if we find it and it's free, we're offering it up on the webpage as kind of a place that we can store all of the information that we've acquired from other people, or books, or even just charts, conversion charts and things like that. We're putting all that on the page so that it's an easy place to find the information and download it for free if you want.
Yep, and remember, download information, anything that's critically important to you, make sure that you download it. That was another thing we had talked about.
Get it offline, because if for any reason you can't pull it up on the internet because maybe the internet's not available, or the page that you're pulling it from is no longer available, having a hard copy of it is probably the best. Or having it as a file on your smartphone. So if you don't have Wi-Fi or a data connection, you can still look up the information you need.
Yeah. So I think that's probably about it for this video. We'll have some more videos coming soon. Thank you again, Veggie Grammy, for giving us that little push. And thank you out there to everybody who's been following along with us and helping our channel grow. If you know anybody who you think might be interested in our videos, please share them with them. It really helps our page a lot. And other than that, everybody, have a good one, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.